you want to do? We probably only have time for one. I'll save
Just
the
do the-
United Nations for the plus show,
Okay.
and I'll do the debt quiz because this shouldn't take long, and it's Canadian. So this is from the Canadian Taxpayers Association, and let's go through. Prime Minister Mark Carney plans to run up the federal debt even faster than Justin Trudeau had planned in the coming years. How much more is Carney planning to borrow than Trudeau? 32 million, 44 billion, 95 billion, or 1 trillion.
95 or 44?
Which one? 44?
95.
You're right. 95 billion. How high was the debt when former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was first elected Prime Minister? 888 million, 616 billion, 1 trillion, or 745 billion?
616 billion.
You're right. Trudeau doubled his debt
Yeah.
during 10 years as Prime Minister. If you count it out loud, how long would it take for you to count to 1.28 trillion, the current federal debt? 365 days, 14 hours, 1,154 years, or 40,636 years?
I'm going to say it's either
It's
1,155 years or it might be 40,000 years. Yeah. Let's go 40,000 years.
You're right. If you counted nonstop for an entire year with no break, you would only reach about 31.5 million. That's less than a 0.010% of the total debt. Which current provincial premier has racked up the most debt during their tenure? Francois Legault, Doug Ford, Scott Moe, or Tim Houston?
Doug Ford.
You're right.
Oh, look at ace in this thing. I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah,
But
nailing it. Premier Doug Ford has increased Ontario's debt by almost 80 billion since becoming premier 7 years ago. If you laid out the federal debt in physical $100 bills, how many times would it wrap around the earth? 1, 7.4, 0.5, or 3?
Oh, that's tough.
That's a tough one.
It's 3 or 7.4. I'm going to go with 7.4.
All right, because it's a decimal. You're right.
Yeah.
You could wrap the earth close to 8 times with the federal debt. It would take about 12.8 billion $100 bills to do it. Which provincial government has the highest government debt per person? Newfoundland, Alberta, Ontario, or British Columbia?
Provincial government has the highest government debt per person. Geez, I'm thinking Newfoundland and Labrador, but it's probably Ontario.
I think
it's Ontario or BC. I think probably pretty tight. I don't want to get this wrong because I'm acing it so far.
Important.
Go with Ontario. Oh, it's gonna be BC. Oh,
actually, the answer is Newfoundland and Labrador. Every single person in Newfoundland and Labrador owes more than $35,000 as their share of the provincial debt.
Oh, I thought that was my first instinct, but
which provincial government has the lowest government debt per person? Alberta, Saskatchewan, New Brunswick, or Quebec?
Alberta, I guess, or Saskatchewan.
Which one you picking? Gotta go hometown.
Saskatchewan.
Good try. The answer is actually New Brunswick. Every single person in New Brunswick owes about 15,635 for their share of provincial debt.
Wow.
Which prime minister piled the most debt onto Canadians during their tenure? Robert Borden, Brian Mulroney, Stephen Harper, or Justin Trudeau?
Trudeau, obviously.
Of course, you got this one. He doubled it. How many NHL teams could you buy with just what the federal government spends on debt interest payments, just on interest in 1 year? 15, 32, 29, or 10?
32.
Good try. The answer is actually 29.
I knew it.
Well, the government can't afford the entire NHL with the 53 billion it wastes on interest every year. It could get close. How much would the federal government need to cut spending to start paying down the debt this year? 75%, 6%, 9%, or 25%?
Cut spending to start paying down the debt. Jesus, it's gonna have to be 25%.
Taxpayers get the debt going back down by squeezing politicians to cut about 9% of the budget.
Way better than
you
I
got
thought.
6 out of 10 correct.
That's it?
You got 6 in a row, and then you really fell off at the end.